I rise as Vice Chair of the California Legislative Jewish Caucus in proud support of H.R. 31 in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month and in honor of Denim Day. And I will say first that believing survivors and expanding their access to justice are foundational to my personal legislative work. The very first bill that a constituent ever asked me to carry was about survivors' access to justice. And every year since, I have worked to create exactly that, because I believe our job here in the legislature is to protect the most vulnerable, to prevent the most heinous crimes, and to amplify the voices of those who have been the most silenced. And that commitment is deeply rooted in Jewish faith, tradition, and culture. For Jewish people, justice is not optional. It is literally commanded. The Hebrew word tzedak, or justice, appears again and again in Jewish texts, prayers, and values. And central to that justice is a fight for survivors to be believed. This goes back to biblical times, such as when Tamar fought against her half-brother Amnon, trying to stop him from raping her, and then truly spoke truth to power, saying aloud what had happened to her in the face of overwhelming opposition. And this work is carried forward today with organizations like the National Council of Jewish Women in San Francisco, who work to preserve human dignity and freedom and are fighting to end sex trafficking and other forms of sexual violence, or scholars like Dr. Rochelle Zidell, focused on uncovering the sexual violence of the Holocaust, breaking through the denial and silence so that every survivor is remembered and respected. And yet, as you have heard on this floor time and time again, and also today from our colleague from Santa Clarita, we govern in a moment of profound contradiction. Those who have committed sexual assault have been permitted to inhabit our highest halls of power, from President Trump in the Oval Office, to the Swalwells of Congress, to Epstein and his donor class, to Chavez, who led a vital worker movement. And these perpetrators of sexual violence have been allowed to reach the highest of heights simply because people around them either chose not to believe or chose not to act. And so that's the culture that Denim Day works to interrupt. It's a culture that is about more than staying silent and allowing perpetrators to continue. Denim Day wants us to do more, to be more. We wear our jeans today, but really what we're trying to do is to dismantle the myths that a survivor's clothing or behavior or silence determines their culpability. We are about ending a culture of retaliation and fear that keeps so many from ever coming forward, as you have heard from colleagues right here on this floor. This movement of Denim Day is about replacing sympathy with true prevention. It is about demanding that our institution reflects the values that we hold dear. And so I ask you, colleagues, to join with the Jewish Caucus, the Native American Caucus, the Black Caucus, and others that you're going to hear from today to deliver on the promise of Denim Day by focusing on justice and dignity, by ensuring prevention, and most importantly, by sending legislation out of this body to the governor's desk that truly uplifts and centers survivors. So on behalf of the California Legislative Jewish Caucus, I urge your support for H.R. 31.